What are your thoughts about Reddit? Do you love it, hate it? Have you never used it? Are you indifferent? So curious to know. This conversation inside this interview was so enlightening for me personally as a food content creator. I talked to Robin Means from Vegan Dollhouse, and she is utilizing Reddit in a way that brings her traffic to her website and fills some gaps in other areas. She gives us all the information we need to know about Reddit. Why use it? Why now? She talks about getting started, how to navigate subreddits, how to find the subreddits that pertain to you and your content in your blog, what to post, when to post, best practices. She talks about engagement, how to do that. I absolutely love this conversation. Not only was it super valuable, but Robin is just an amazing person, and I think you will be inspired by her no matter what. This is episode number 702. Vegan Dollhouse is your site, right? Can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I started Vegan Dollhouse like maybe 12 years ago. Before that, I had a cupcake blog for a few years, but it was like not a good blog. It was like a blog where I was like sharing eating cupcakes with my friends at their birthday parties. It wasn't like a good blog. Um, and so I did the cupcake vlog for a few years, and then I was like, I felt like I was feeling too limited, like too niched down.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to make other cute food, right? Like I was into cupcakes because I'm into like cute food, like cute little food. I'm into like cute everything, but also food. And so I was like, okay, so IEatCupcakes.com is not going to work anymore, right? And so I came up with Vegan Dollhouse because I have a friend Jocelyn, and she like named my house the Vegan Dollhouse because it like looked like a dollhouse. It had like the white picket fence, and it was very
Aw,
small. And it had like the little columns. It was one of those older houses in downtown.
cute.
So yeah, that's how I started it.
All right. And then what kind of content do you share on Vegan Dollhouse?
Oh yeah. So, well, I'm vegan, obviously, so it's only vegan food, but that's like not really the focus. I think the focus is more like what I would call cute food, party food, food that you're celebrating something. Probably not that much everyday food on my blog. I think it is everyday food for me. But I think you have to really like being in the kitchen. Like you have to like cooking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, these are the lemon tartlets. Look so cute. So much cute
Thank
stuff on
you.
here. And the
Thank
little
you.
chocolate pretzel butterflies. And oh my goodness, adorable. How do you come up with all of your content?
Isn't that funny? All different ways. Like sometimes I'm like inspired by like art that I see. A lot of it I'm just like thinking about it when I'm in the shower. I know it sounds silly, but like that's like
Yeah.
it's just ideas that come to me usually.
Yeah. The succulent cake. Oh my gosh. How in the world did you do that?
I know that I had
It
help
looks
with.
amazing.
Yeah, that took a while. Me and a friend did it together, and it still took like hours.
Oh my goodness. Mind blown. Wow. Amazing work there. I mean, talking about creativity from your pants to this, you are obviously a through and through creative individual, and that shows just in my 60 seconds of looking through your blog. So,
Oh,
um,
thanks.
and then remind me again how long Vegan Dollhouse has been around?
I think it's like 12 years. I think
Okay.
maybe 2012 or 2013 was my first post on there.
Okay. Awesome. So, that into Reddit, how did you become interested in Reddit? When did this become uh, an interest, I guess?
Oh, that's such a good question. I like don't even remember. I mean, I could go on Reddit and it tells you like your Reddit birthday or whatever, which
Oh,
is like the day you
I
signed
didn't
up.
know.
Um, and I can't remember when that was. I'm guessing like 8 years ago ish. And I don't even like remember like how I heard about it or why I started looking into it. I'm sure somebody mentioned it or maybe I stumbled upon it. I just have no idea. I do not remember. But I had a lot of luck with it. So from like the get go. So I've just always stuck with it.
So, what did you first use it for when you went on there? What so intrigued you about it?
Yeah, just the amount of engagement I get compared to like sharing my recipe anywhere else. So, like, I guess my main places that I'm at are like Instagram. I wasn't on Facebook back then. I was on Instagram, like maybe like yeah, was that it? Maybe just Instagram. I mean, obviously Pinterest, but I think Pinterest. I don't consider Pinterest maybe social media as much, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I guess when I went on Reddit and you can share a link, right? Which obviously Instagram, you couldn't then unless you had like 10,000
Right.
or 10,000 followers, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
And so, and I didn't. So I was never able to share links there. So it's like the only way you're getting people to click through is by convincing them to like leave Instagram, leave the scroll, right? Which
Yeah.
is like nearly
It's
impossible.
so hard. It's like a vortex of,
Yeah.
yeah, something.
Yeah. Oh, Food Gawker. I guess
Food
Food Gawker
Gawker.
I got a
Okay.
lot of traffic from back then.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so like, yeah, there just wasn't like a lot of places where I was getting traffic from besides Pinterest and Google. So it's just like, oh, this is really cool. When I shared on it and saw how much traffic I got, I was like, oh, okay.
Now, is it frowned upon to share links? I mean, that can be perceived as spamming depending on the situation, right?
Yeah. So yes, it depends on a few things. Every subreddit is different, right? So they all have their own rules and they all have their own, I guess, like best practices. They call it Reddicate.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, like you don't want to like start off, I guess, right away, just like posting a bunch of your links. Like, okay, for instance, don't join Reddit after this, after you hear this conversation and then start like going through all
Right.
your backlogged
Hmm.
recipes, being like, oh, all of these I've never shared before. I'll just boop, boop, boop. You can do that on Food Gawker. That's fine. Don't do
Yeah.
that on Reddit.
And say, Robin
Because,
sent
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. But if you're like I don't publish a lot of recipes. I know a lot of bloggers are publishing like 2, 3 a week. I'm publishing 1 a week max because my recipes are complex. They take a lot
Yeah.
of time. And so for me, it's never spammy because it's like 1 a week,
Yeah.
you know? So
So
I
do you
guess
just do new content, and what's the context? Like, do you just get on and like, hey, check out my new succulent cake. It's really fun looking. Or do you join a thread that's already talking about cakes, or how do you go about that?
yeah, okay, so that's a really good question. So I have kind of my own strategy for how I do it. So so my main thing is I'm posting a new recipe on my blog and I'm going to Reddit and I'm sharing that new recipe. So I'm starting a new thread.
Okay.
And then you're in multiple subreddits, right? Well, I think most people are in multiple subreddits. So you'll have your favorite subreddit. That's the one that like you get a lot of engagement from and it's like your main one. So I always post there first. And then you have all your other subreddits and you just look through everything that you're a part of and see which ones seem practical, which ones make sense. And then you cross post to those. So, like if I were comparing this to Facebook, let's say, you post your recipe on your blog page, right? So I
Hmm.
post it on my Vegan Dollhouse page, and then I share it to the recipe sharing groups,
Okay.
right? So it's kind of like you're doing that on Reddit.
Okay. So I get what subreddit is. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think I've ever used Reddit. I get the concept, like I know what it is and what it's used for.
Yeah.
So will you describe what a subreddit is?
Yeah. Subreddits are actually really cool. Like they're so niche. So it's basically like, you know how you have your different friend circles? I assume you have different friend circles. I have
Yep.
different friend circles. Okay, so I have like my girls that I skate with, so my roller skating crew, and then I have like my vegan crew, my vegan friends. And then I have like my music friends, which are like people I used to DJ with, right? So I have like these different friend circles. So you can go on Reddit and find your different friend circles, which sounds like crazy, but that's kind of what subreddit is. It's like it goes down so niche, like bagels. like all people who just post bagels. Like it gets real niche.
Oh,
Yeah. So you're finding your little niches, I guess.
okay. And then how big are these, or how many people are in each, or does it just depend?
It depends. So some people will just like start their own and it's kind of new, so it doesn't have that many people in it. I don't usually post in those because you're just not getting any engagement. Um, so I've pretty much vetted like a really good group of subreddits that get at least like I'm looking for a certain amount of engagement, right? I don't want to post something and get fewer than 5 comments. I don't want to post something and get fewer than 10 clicks through, right? I want people to like be engaging with my
Yeah.
content. So the groups that only have like less than 20,000 people, I wouldn't bother with.
Okay, 20,000. So on Facebook in the groups, I know there's kind of an unspoken rule that you can't just go into a group, become a new member, and then just start like publishing your URLs. So is there a time frame? Like, should you wait a little bit and get to know people first, like you do on
Yes.
Facebook?
Yes, totally. Yes. Yeah, you definitely want to like build your karma if you're not already on Reddit. So some people are already on Reddit for maybe not their food blog, right? Maybe they go on it because they're like trying to ask people's opinion on how to like do something around their house, right? So maybe you already have karma. But if you're like not on Reddit that much, you really want to build karma before you start posting. So like my advice would be to like join Reddit, then find a couple of subreddits that seem interesting to you, and then read their rules because everyone has really specific rules. Some of them have no rules, but some of them have very specific rules. So you want to make sure that you're not breaking any rules. And so, like, just like kind of lurking. So if you're just
Okay.
like in it, you're reading other people's posts, you're commenting on their posts, that's all building karma.
So that is very similar to the Facebook group strategy, I guess you'd call it, that a lot of food bloggers use. Like yeah, the karma. Karma is a great word to use. You've got to set the stage for good things. You can't just go in and like, here, click my links and come give me traffic. It has to be kind of a give and take situation.
Yeah, totally.
And
But remember, you were like, do you ever look for threads that are already existing? So that's actually part of my strategy, but it's not like, okay, I just published a chocolate blackberry cake. I'm going to go and see if anybody's asking any questions about chocolate blackberry cake. It's not like that. It's, I just shared my chocolate blackberry cake as a new thread. And then I'm going in and I'm engaging in the group with other people's stuff
oh,
because they want you to be engaged. They want to see that you're engaging more than you're posting.
okay.
And so when I do my like cross posting to all of the other subreddits that I think that it would go good in. So if it's this chocolate blackberry cake, I'm going to put it in vegan baking and I'm going to put it in baking, like, so I have like a few that it goes with. Um, all those tabs are now open on my because it opens a new tab. So I
Oh,
just go back to each tab that's already open after I've posted it everywhere and I engage with like 10 other people's posts in each of those subreddits. Um, and so the engaging with other people's posts is what you're talking about. So what I do is I look at it and somebody's like, my mother-in-law is coming to visit. I really need a recipe that's like gluten-free, but also doesn't have onions, right? And so they're like asking questions in these subreddits and you're answering, and they allow you to do formatting in the comments. So you can even put a bunch of links and it doesn't look like you're spamming it with links.
oh,
So you can be like, oh, I have 5 recipes on my website that would fit that criteria. So you're writing it as a paragraph. You're highlighting the text every time you say this pate, and then you just link from the word
oh,
pate in
wow.
there. So it's like you can kind of sneak in a lot of traffic that way.
How much time do you spend doing this? Is this a huge time investment for you?
Okay, so I love that you asked this because I just looked into it because I don't really like pay attention to how much time I was spending, but I just looked into it because I knew we were chatting about it and I wanted to be able to tell you
Yeah.
in case, I just wanted people to know. This is my selling point on Reddit. Are you ready? This is it. I compared it to Pinterest. I compared it to Pinterest for this reason. For me, Pinterest is the next high traffic driving social media esque place
Yep.
that has longevity, right? Is it called longevity where like it's not like Instagram or Twitter where it disappears after
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
okay. So Reddit and Pinterest I feel like are kind of like neck and neck, right? So that's why I only compared it to Pinterest. I spend a third of the time that I spend on Pinterest doing Reddit, but I get 3 times the traffic
Oh,
from Reddit. I know.
wow.
That blew my mind. I had no
That's
idea until
amazing.
I looked
And
at it.
you didn't even know, and now you're
I
enlightened.
know.
That's so great. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like this is an underutilized platform. I told you before we started recording that I feel like so many content creators just have a bad what's the, like connotation with Reddit because these forums have become more popular and have actually outranked a lot of our high quality content. So personally, when I see a Reddit link pop up when I'm doing a search, I'm like, oh, it's like a source of frustration. But there's the opposite side where you can actually embrace this platform and use it to help your food blog grow.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's been like a year and a half since that started, right? And when it started, I was like, oh, cool. Like
You were excited.
yeah, I guess everybody else was not like, oh,
Yeah,
cool. But I was like, oh, good. This is good for me.
that's amazing. So you're fairly new at Reddit within the past year and a half or so.
Oh, no, no, no. I've been on
Oh,
Reddit for
you've
like
been
8 years. Sorry,
oh,
a
you've been
year
doing
and
it
a
8 years.
half ago
Okay.
is when Google and Reddit made the
Yes. Right,
partnership.
right,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Gotcha. And then do you find people like friends there too? Do you make friends with people on Reddit?
I would say no. Okay, so I'm saying no because Reddit is very big on anonymity. Is that how you say that word?
Mm-hmm.
And so what that means is that, well, I used to joke and say people go to Reddit to fight.
To fight?
Yeah, because they're like hiding behind this anonymous username. Nobody will
Yeah.
ever trace who they are to who they really are. It's not like Instagram where they can it's kind of linked to your Facebook and you can kind of see who the person
Yeah.
is. Like they can say whatever, like they just say their mind, which is like kind of good. You're getting actual honest criticism from people on your recipes and it helps you improve. But also like if you're sensitive, it could
Mm,
hurt your feelings some days because some people will just be like, that looks like puke.
yeah. Mm, like,
Or
thank
whatever,
you. Yeah.
whatever mean thing they feel like
Right.
saying. Like instead of kicking their dog, they're kicking you on Reddit.
Oh.
But that being said, I will post something sometimes, or I'll comment on somebody else's post, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, that means the world coming from you. I have been following you for a decade. I love your recipes. Like, so do you make
Yeah.
friends? No, not really. It's not like you would hang out with the people later in life,
Okay.
but you get interaction. I don't know. I don't know how to
Okay.
describe
Yeah.
that.
Like it sounds like a unique kind of interaction.
Yeah.
Every platform brings a unique personality, and I feel like this personality is so different from anything we know. So it sounds like you just have to get into it and learn it, right?
Yeah.
And then outside of just going in and creating these kind of like karma based relationships, like giving and taking, and then hopefully posting URLs, what else do you post? Do you post about other things going on in your life just to keep the conversation flowing?
No, I don't. And I think you can if you want, but like as food bloggers, we're already, I mean, I'm going to say it, over posting. Like I feel I get post fatigue. I'm tired of talking about my life.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about my life in real life when I'm hanging out with friends, and then I have to like talk about my life
Mm,
online so that like my followers get connected with me. It's just like a lot of talking about
yeah. You're
myself.
right. It is a lot
And
of,
so it's
yeah.
nice that I don't have to do that on Reddit,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's refreshing,
Like,
actually.
okay, that actually leads me to something that I did want to mention.
Hmm.
So, something that is really cool about Reddit is it's nothing is based on followers.
Uh,
So, it's like you're not like on Instagram. I feel like I'm like fighting for followers, right? I'm
Yeah.
constantly like battling to get followers. It's not like that on Reddit. It doesn't matter at all. Like you right now can go on Reddit and get just as much engagement as I would after being on Reddit for 8 years, because they don't do it based on follower count. So it's like great for someone new, which I feel like is not the case with any other platform, not
That's
even
true.
Pinterest.
And so there's no algorithm or anything.
There is.
Oh,
So yes, good. I'm glad you
okay.
asked
So talk
that.
about that.
Okay, so you know on Facebook when you go in a group and it's automatically sorted by something that's not time.
Yes.
And well, some groups, some I see that some do defaulted by time.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know exactly what that is that it's sorted by, but Reddit has that and it's called hot.
Okay.
And so if you want to make it into hot, you need to be having a lot of engagement. And once you make it into hot, it just goes crazy. It's like goes from like 5 comments to 100, right? And so you want to get your stuff into hot because it means more people are clicking on your recipe link. Um, and maybe more people are fighting on your
Yeah.
post, depending. But either way, it's like engagement is engagement. So great. Like if 2 people want to get in a battle on my post, go for it. Like I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody comments, I go back in and I reply to their comment, because every reply to a comment counts as another karma point, right? And so, or that's kind of called upvotes. They have like an arrow, up and down arrow, so it's like upvotes and downvotes. And so when I told you like the amount of time I spent on Reddit, that include like the majority of my time is replying to
Oh,
comments. Yeah.
okay.
So, and I reply to all of them, not all of them. Like if someone's like a
Most of
hater
them.
and being
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
psycho, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let
For
someone
those,
else fight with you.
right. You fight with someone else. For those, if somebody is being a hater, is there a way to get their comment removed, or do you just completely ignore it?
Yeah, so different groups have different moderators. Some groups are more moderated than others, and moderators can remove posts at any time for any reason they want. And so if a post gets a lot of downvotes, then the moderators are more likely to delete their
Okay.
comment. And so you can downvote. And I think that that's typically what'll happen. Like if you're in a gluten-free subreddit and someone posts something that's clearly gluten and they were not following the rules, everybody's going to downvote it, and then the moderator will see that
Gotcha.
someone got a lot and boot them.
Okay. Is there potential for people to be banned from Reddit?
Yeah, I don't know about Reddit as a whole, but from subreddits, yeah.
From subreddits? Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
how, like, what do you have to do to get banned?
Break the rules.
Just, okay. So if there are rules, follow them, or you
Yeah,
could get banned.
I still to this day, like part of my procedure is if I'm about to cross post into something I don't normally post in, that's like some like I don't know. There's just some really niche ones, right? And only a few of your recipes are going to fit there. So I reread the rule, even though I've
Yeah.
been on Reddit this whole time. Like if it's not one of my main ones that I post in all the time, and I know the rules like the back of my hand, always reread the rules.
Okay. Wow, I'm learning so much. There's like a little secret subculture with lingo and all of these words that upvote and hot. I had no idea hot was a thing. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm so intrigued by this. And there is so much, right? Like there's so much, so many sub threads on Reddit. I mean, I see them pop up in Google searches all the time. It's just like an endless stream of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like on any topic too, not just food related, but literally anything in the world you can talk
Mm-hmm.
about. All right. What else do we need to know? Oh, I was going to ask you if somebody listening is like, okay, this sounds like a good option, really
Mm-hmm.
looking for this engagement and traffic, getting involved in Reddit, where do they start? So they create an account, find a few subreddits, and then just start engaging?
Yeah, don't post yet. Just start engaging.
Okay.
Engage on other people's content and just like watch and learn. Like I feel like every community has kind of its own like vibe, and so you just want to like get the vibe for the room,
Yeah.
basically.
I just wrote that down. Get the vibe. We read each other's mind.
Yes.
Okay. And then just do that for, it's kind of the same on Facebook, honestly. Like you just have to observe the room for a bit and then feel it when it's ready for you to chime in. It kind of feels like that same thing.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
so.
would you say, like, don't be afraid of Reddit, embrace Reddit? Would that be a message for other food creators?
Yes. Yeah, I think like people are used to getting like negative comments if they have a post that goes viral on other social media. So I think you'll be ready for it.
Yeah.
But it's like going to a protest, right? There's a lot of protests going on right now, as we all know. So you're going to a protest and like 50 cars honk and wave and are like, yeah, yeah. And then one car flips you off. Like, and you can't stop thinking about that one car. Like, this is for me. I'm talking about myself
Yeah.
here.
No, I hear you.
And so I guess it's kind of like that. Like, don't like try to focus on all the good. There's so many good comments. People make you feel so good.
Oh,
Like, I get so many nice comments on Reddit and
oh,
it makes me
good.
really happy. So I guess like, yes, go for it and just try, people can say it. It's hard to do it, but try not to let the one
Yeah.
bad apple ruin the whole batch.
Well, unfortunately, we're pretty schooled in that area just with blog posts and YouTube. I feel like YouTube's the worst with people just saying terrible things. So I think most people listening are kind of have dealt with that before. So it's not like a new thing. But
Good.
you kind of alluded to this earlier. You also get ideas about your content too, right? Like you could
Oh
probably
yeah.
generate, like, I don't know, ideas for new posts or article posts or something like that from
Yeah,
Reddit
totally.
users.
Yeah. I mean, I use Reddit a lot for that. And I also some groups don't like it when you do this, and also I've been called AI for doing this. But sometimes I'll ask questions, like I'll be like, "What's the best muffin?" Like I need to know what people are looking for, and then you take what they say and you go into key search or whatever you're using and figure out if like it makes sense to make those. But just to know like what muffins people want, and you get like some of the things people come up with. I'm like, I would have never thought of a
Hmm.
muffin that flavor because it's not for me. But like, if there's other people out there, and especially if you're getting repeated comments for the same flavor, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, sometimes when I post things that aren't like super specific, just boring, like this is my recipe, like I'll get a comment like, "This is AI." Like, not everything is AI.
My family calls me AI. I don't know how that started, but they're always like, "See, mom's AI." Like, so we're together in that.
Are
Um,
they on Reddit?
no, oh gosh, good question. I don't think so.
Are they teenagers?
Yes, they are
Oh, they're on
teenagers.
Reddit.
So
I'm
maybe
sure
they
they are.
are. That's so funny. I don't, yeah, I'm trying to think how that started. It was some weird comment I made last summer. And I remember my 14-year-old son looked at me like, who are you? He literally was scrutinizing me like, are you real? And ever since then, he's like, mom's a robot. I don't think she's a human.
That's so cute. That's
What else do
adorable.
people have to know about Reddit? What else would you like to enlighten us about?
Um, I think feel like we talked about a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, your questions were like all of your questions were so good. Like those are all the things that I would tell people. I guess
Good.
like maybe if you have listeners who aren't necessarily food bloggers, but they have a YouTube channel, there are specific subreddits for you. There's
Oh.
specific subreddits that are only for links to YouTube, only for cooking
Oh.
videos, and you can't put a link to a blog. Like it's against the law.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. So
Um,
literally everything under the sun you can
yeah,
find. Okay.
yeah,
I'm so intrigued. I want to go right after this and like get a is it easy to get a user? You just like make up a
yeah.
username? Do you have
Hmm.
suggestions about what kind of username to make?
Just anything that don't let them give you yours. Make
Okay.
it match. Make it match your blog, or if you're going on there to talk about your podcast, make it match your podcast name.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that
I'm so
it's like
inspired.
Yay! I'm so excited. I'm excited
Yay!
that you're excited.
Yes. Well, thank you, Robin. What a great chat. And it was just getting to connect with you and meet you. So thank you for sharing all of this and inspiring us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Do you have either a favorite quote or words of inspiration to leave us with today?
Mm, drink water.
I
I
like
know it
it.
sounds silly, but I feel like as food bloggers, we're all over the place all the time. We're like multitasking times 1,000, and sometimes it's easy to forget to drink water.
I would say, like, not sometimes, but all the time. I need to remind myself to do it. So, yes, good reminder for all of us. Thank you. We will put together a show notes page for you. If you want to go look at those, head to eatblogtalk.com/vegan dollhouse. Tell everyone where they can find you, Robin.
I'm Vegan Dollhouse everywhere, and like everywhere, all of the places. I'm not super active on a lot of places, but I'm there.
Are you Vegan Dollhouse on Reddit?
I'm Vegan Dollhouse on Reddit.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then
Yeah.
wasn't there was something else you were going to mention?
Yeah, I did. I made like a list of subreddits so that you don't have to do all the research and work because it does
What?
take a lot of time. It could take like a year to find all of your subreddits, especially because when you post things, people will comment a subreddit that it would go good under.
Okay.
So like I've gotten a lot of ideas for subreddits to join that way. So I have a pretty lengthy list. It's only for food bloggers though. I don't know if you
Okay.
have people who listen who aren't food bloggers, but they wouldn't
Mostly
want
food
this.
bloggers.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all for food content creators. And
Okay.
so I can share that with you
Oh my
for the show
gosh.
notes, maybe?
That would be amazing.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. So go to show notes to find that. And thanks again, Robin. It was such a pleasure. And thank you for listening, food bloggers. I will see you next time.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this topic, be sure to watch the video shown on the screen. See you next time.